Welcome, Katumba. Welcome to Big Conversations by Ordinary People.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm okay. Thank you for accepting the invite to come.
Yeah, after a tight schedule.
Yeah, I see. I imagine you do. Maybe a little bit of background on what we do here, just so you can sort of get a feel of what this conversation is going to be about. We started the podcast basically to bring back the art of transferring information amongst ourselves, amongst generations through conversation. What we know is our forefathers, before writing and drawing and computing came to Africa, our forefathers talked to the next generation through storytelling and conversation. That's how lessons moved. And that is the point of the podcast so far. That's what we're trying to do. And now we're trying to understand who Katumba is. We draw a portrait of Katumba, the youngest presidential candidate.
Yeah.
Through conversation.
Okay. Basically, Katumba is my name.
Yeah.
I'm Katumba John, commonly known as AKA Katumba Oye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to be with you. And I'm happy and glad that I'm going to discuss matters with the whole nation through your podcast.
Okay.
My symbol is a table, and I'm happy that we're on a table discussing issues. And a little bit about my background. I'm not someone who came from Mars. I grew up in a humble background, like I think like an African can do, but the difference between me and others is that me grew up as an orphan at the age of 2. I didn't know much about the parents and the likes. So in the due process, as I was moving, I used to, I grew up in an extended family where everyone wanted to be with Katumba, like the way you hear Ugandans are yearning over Katumba.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yesterday I got shocked. 20 people called me. Please come and say hello to our people. They were on streets as I was from Bali. They were on streets. I saw 20. Yeah. And I'm like, let me go and discuss with them.
I see.
On reaching the other side, there were more than 5,000 people waiting to see Katumba, to hear what is coming out of Katumba.
I see.
Oh my God, it was massive.
I see.
So from that level, I tried to be. I saw a woman actually who was carrying her business, and her carrying her business, she had also the children around her with one on the back. In the process, they got her. Beat her up, threw her on the car. Mm-hmm. Then I don't know where they disappeared.
And who's doing the beating?
That is, I think it was police or KCC. I can't remember, but I think the two, because by then I couldn't know who was who. Yeah. Then I got shocked because I was admiring the mother who was doing great work carrying the other one. Remember, me, I'm an orphan. The process that happened. So I had to ask myself a question. Where is the problem? Mm-hmm. Why is our people, why have they lost sense of humanity? So I grew up training what I'm going to do now.
I see.
Yeah, for the presidential seat.
I see.
In the process, I became an entertainment prefect in P2.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I think, I can't remember the year. Then the whole of primary level, entertainment, O-level, health prefect, A-level head prefect. Campus, I didn't, because for them they are more into politics. Yet me, I'm not into politics. I'm a leader who is here to liberate Uganda.
I see. What's the story after university? I know you're very young. I'm a very old man myself.
The story after university, I think I graduated this January.
Okay.
Yes, as I was going through the peaks, that's when I remember that I graduated in January 16th there. Yeah, with a bachelor's in transport and logistics. So from there, we were still negotiating with my head whether I should come out as a presidential candidate or not, because I had factors that could make me not.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, after a while, by then I was working on an app, because always I wanted to join my youth. I wanted to create employment opportunity. I was working on an app. I think it is even out now. It is called Rexa, whereby it is a social media platform. It links a service provider to a user as well as sharing information.
Okay.
You can text, I call it Rexa text. You can Rexa someone, you can do all that. So in the due process, as I was getting done, that's when the lockdown came in. I continued with my project of the Rexa. After that, I think that's when they officially opened up nominations. So I started the journey. But if I start telling it now, I can even shed tears. But before, it took me 2 to 3 days having the papers before me, thinking on what, how, where, when, who. All those questions.
Yeah.
Then later on, what sparked me off, it is a church around Endeavour. It sparked me off. It was like, I'm a believer. I'm a born again. And I go to True Worshipers Church. It is around Nadia Road as you're sloping. So I saw the church was destroyed thoroughly. The question I had before me was, if they cannot respect the church, who are we? If they cannot respect the God, who are we? Remember, you've been seeing live bulleting, the likes of Chilumira, Kawesi, and so many. And that one also attached to the situation that was around by then, where people were in lockdown. But the landladies and the landlords are eager to get their rent in dollars. No one is coming out. In the due process, the border guys were struggling, and the border was still costing 5 million shillings. In the due process, our brothers were going back to university, but the shameless situation we have could ask zero balance before you do it. You do the papers. Yeah. So a lot was there. I said, come what may.
Yeah. I think
we have a saying that if we die, let us die.
Yeah. If we die, we die.
But that is not the main point. The main point was this bad situation we are in
as a country,
and the politicians who want to manipulate our country sparked me off to start the journey.
I see.
I started around Luwelo. The only story I can tell you that I passed through a national park, having lost where to sleep, because I had no money by that time. I looked for a small car hut around Mijela, as you're heading to, that is through Nakasongola and the likes. As you're heading to Carrefour, I reached a place. They told me you should go to Shell. That's where you'll find maybe police where you can sleep on reaching Shell. The guy was like, you know what? We don't offer here lodges and the likes. The manager. So they pushed me further. I walked through that. By the time it clocked morning, I was around Carrefour.
Oh, that's
I got to realize that it was a national park after. Even I think
And
even
what
the one
period
of
is this?
Karuma, between Karuma and Pakwachi, even that one, by the time I got to know that it is national park, I'm almost through.
Almost through. I see. Yeah, I mean, you're...
A lot happened through signature soliciting. I'm writing a book. It was meant to get out, I think, this week, but, I'm here and there. I have two challenges. One is fulfilling the obligations, and another one is fighting the constraints of financial affairs.
Yeah, I imagine that's
Yes.
extremely important. Yeah.
So at one point, as you're thinking of the other, you also have to think of this. So I had no concentration. I had to go through Ugandans that are willing to give me what they can so that we can have a better Uganda. And I'm so happy that Ugandans now, their eyes are becoming widely open because they are feeling Uganda doesn't need a politician anymore. You've seen the thing happening for the previous 20 years. Right now, Uganda needs a leader who has a sense of humor like Katumba.
Yeah, I see. The big question for me now is how have you managed? What is your strategy for raising the funds? Because that's a big...
Actually, what I do, mostly, I use mobile money. Mm-hmm. I go, I don't want to be a beggar. That is my hardest challenge. I don't want to be a beggar. But forcefully the situation, not being proud. Being a beggar it is another thing. Because if you be a beggar, you will always be a beggar. It is hard to change that mindset. And that is how they are training Ugandans. That's why they have a quote that say, "Government, where are you?" It has made people broke to the extent that these people cannot afford even paying attention. They cannot afford paying attention. That's why you see us struggling with them over COVID, struggling with them with tear gas and the likes. So, at the end of the day, I give my number out, which is 07. I don't know, your podcast is international or local?
Yes, it is. So it's international, but we also have a very big local audience.
Yeah, I do have a number, which is +256 778 84 9457 0778 84 9457 +256 778 84 9457.
Okay.
So through that, I've seen people, some of them give me mobile money, others give me invites. There are those prominent people who are like, no, we don't want to be exposed, but we are supporting the cause. Yeah, they invite me. Others, they run after my car. You'll be like going on a highway, you say, car fighting, stops in front of you. They give you what they can. Others, they wait you till you branch off to the nearby petrol station to fuel your car. They come and take over.
Are you enjoying the campaigning process? I imagine since you're not enjoying it at all.
It is not actually it is a struggle. We're in a total struggle. Though some of Ugandans are still joking around with the situation, but we are in a total struggle.
Okay.
I always run with policemen here and there. They do not want us to talk to the people. Yet we are in for the people. That's why you saw me right away from Tololo. I had to sit down to make a sit-down strike because they were giving me 5 kilometers away
from people.
The question is, are we going to talk to the bush or to the people? So there I resorted to running You run after me. The advantage with it, you do not get even time to pay attention of orderly to tear gas me. That's how I wisely maneuver the thing.
Yeah.
So indeed, I'm running for presidency.
Yeah, that I get clearly now.
Yes.
That was supposed to be our first question, whether you're serious, but I see this is truly a serious thing for you.
I remember I was in Jojo, and I was addressing the people. We were, you may call it in a meeting, because my campaigns, we discuss issues, question and answer approach. Yeah. In the due process, someone was like, our president, we don't have before he finished out the word hospitals, they chased him. Gawe.
I see.
He was like, we don't have hospital. You know that situation. At the end of the day, I had to run after him so that I get the information. And the police had to run after me.
Wow.
At the end of the day, they chased me out of the town. We stopped around the petrol station. As I was talking to the media, the guy also chased me that you're doing campaigns in someone's business. I'm sure you heard me saying
on some petrol station where again a police officer was trying to chase you.
Yes, yet I was addressing media. Yeah. Then, as they were fueling my car, because in the due process I wanted to minimize time.
Yeah.
So that's when you had me asking, did you hear me saying Katumba? Oh yeah, anyway, yeah. Yes, but this is a call to everyone that we are not in the time of politics, I think, has come to an end.
It's time for leadership.
It is time for leadership to take over.
Okay.
Where we merge as Ugandans over one cause. I do not want Uganda to turn into Libya.
Yeah, that's, I think, the biggest scary thing with
Yes. I always look at my Uganda, my part of Africa, poor as I am, grew up on this land.
That's your home.
Not only that, one of the wealthiest
places on earth,
part of Africa.
Yeah.
And I see people taking it into a slavery camp. That hurts me a lot.
So you think the poverty, this is all systematic?
Of course.
I see. And do you have any, and I know this may be very complex, do you have any solutions on top of your head? I
do. Let me give you an example. I've been to the areas of Bukedia, the likes.
Yeah.
And these people were growing rice for decades, growing rice. But after a while, government came up that you're encroaching the wetlands. Okay. Later on, there is a proposal of a Chinese company to grow rice there. I'm not against those international investors, but I would love to give opportunities to the local investors. Suppose instead of chasing them away, we added in some small money and construct for them. There would be a company that is going to be constructed by an investor. And we make a cooperatives within them. I'm sure Uganda would have exported rice and the money remains here. Otherwise, it will, first of all, we will buy that rice expensively. Our brothers who will work in that company will be paid almost nothing according to the taxes we pay. At the end of the day, these brothers of ours and sisters will be broke. And the money will be repatriated.
Yeah.
So, when Katumba saw this, and it's like, no, let me move on with Ugandans.
Yeah. And I see, because poverty is a big part of your story, this is really something you feel like needs to be solved.
It is not like, it is not a bondage. Even bondages we pray and they go.
Yeah.
It is something that we can do in just few minutes out of Uganda. Give you an example. There are some Ugandans who are good at growing coffee. Mm-hmm. They sell their basket of coffee at a cheaper price. And we buy a tin of Nestle at a higher price. Suppose we make a corporation. We make a company there. Instead of going out, Uganda exports 100 tons of coffee.
If we could process it from there.
Coffee seeds.
Yeah.
And we brag around that. Our economy's background is agriculture. We brag about exporting raw materials of coffee seeds.
Yeah.
So instead of that, we make a cooperative. I need cooperatives to come back in Uganda, and I'm going to fight as much. The thing of Katumba oil is going to move from one level to another. I'm calling upon the youth, whether I'm a president or not, we are going to be a different generation. We are going to be a different generation that is here not over politics, but we are here to move Uganda from one level to another.
I see. I think for me, the most inspiring part about your campaign, besides your youth, obviously, it's very admirable that you could do this at 24. But the most inspiring part also is how you've managed to get people's attention. I've been listening a lot to other politicians campaigning, and what is missing you could be maybe saying things that are similar. Say, for example, most of the people who don't want the government, they understand the problems that are in Uganda. But the fact that you've managed to, you call it a sense of humor, the fact that you've managed to get the Ugandans to pay attention to you so you can actually tell them the things that you want them to hear. Is this something you've designed, or do you think there's some luck that has played into you getting to sort of the fame within the campaigns?
The thing is, I'm here. Right away, I tell them I'm a solution to Uganda's problems. I'm not a politician. That I'll come out and speak what you want to listen to so that I can get to the vote. And when I come, we discuss issues.
Yeah.
Yes, we sit down and we what is really on ground? What do we need? That's why actually my manifesto is not yet out. Because I drew my manifesto. It is good. I look at it every day and I'm like, wow, this is the Uganda I want to have. But when I reach down there on ground in different regions, I see at one point it is not applicable.
You've overlooked a few things that are real problems in Uganda. That's what you see. Yeah.
So I end up giving them my number because anytime police will chase me out of the area. Through that process, I get the real information that I work on. But another thing is that I'm not a politician and I do not criticize.
I see.
You've heard me talking about a problem and solution, not criticizing. That this is what without a solution. It shows that it is a sign of cowardness. Yes, it is a sign of I call it even immature.
Yeah.
Yes, you funded to criticize.
I think from my perspective, some of the other reasons people would say criticize again for you're taking a totally different approach with your humor, but it would be the attention. So most of the people are bonded a lot easier. I don't know who said this, but I'm sure some old white woman or some old white man. But someone said people are easily bonded by anger. And it's difficult to bond people by love. It's possible, but it's more difficult, right? And
but
that is what people
expect.
That's what you're doing. Again,
and it is overcoming the anger. Because everyone, like even you, when you saw me, the first thing you did was to smile.
Yeah.
The purpose about that is that in spite of the politics we are having, we are not in a beef. The main goal in it Yes, the main goal in it is how Uganda is moving from one level to another.
Yeah, and
so if we come and we beefing one another, we have gone through the same situation for the previous 20 years.
Yeah.
But we get nothing.
Yeah.
If we are to construct a road, one will have to beef the other. Mm-hmm. But in the due process, one will bribe or one will embezzle the funds. Yeah. Is that how we are going to live in the Uganda? These people, I'm telling you, and I'm honest, the regime is going.
Okay.
It is going.
Okay.
But the question is, if not Katumba, then who?
I see. Some people say Bobby Wine.
I don't know. I can't say anything about him.
True.
Because I don't know his motives.
Okay. I see.
Because anything concerning politics, I don't know.
I see.
Because me, I base on love and humanity.
I see. And in a scenario where, say, the incumbent retained power, Museveni stole Katumba's vote, in that scenario, would you be willing to be part of the government as a leader?
I can't even give that opportunity.
You can't? Yeah, okay, I see.
I cannot.
I see.
What I mean, that opportunity of giving him a chance to rig the votes.
Okay.
I can't do that because I know once I give him that opportunity, he will cause ruckus. So I do we have a saying, prevention is better than curing.
Yeah, that's true.
And that is my approach. I'm seeing him and the likes.
Have you laid out any strategies? I know even what police is doing right now, what the army is doing, that's already part of the regime because it's making the playing ground unfair.
What they did, I even look at them and wonder. What they did was to get these young men of ours who are broke. Remember, they made them poor. Others are unemployed. They got 2 million boys, I don't know, even girls inclusive, calling them crime preventers.
Yeah.
Remember, some years back, they fired them. They said they were useless. Now they are employed. On the basis calling them crime preventers, yet actually they are crime presenters because they present crimes. Yes. But the main point is to add 2 million voters. That is a direct rigging. Okay. You're using a taxpayer's money on your campaign trail, calling them crime preventers. I saw that. Exactly. My other opponents, maybe they are still, blowing up their chests, fighting with police, not knowing the votes are going.
Yeah, and what are the solutions to it? Because I think everyone is worried. People may not know specifically how the vote is going to be stolen. But I guarantee you there is no Ugandan who is not sure that the vote will be stolen.
Let me tell you, voting is another thing and winning is another thing.
Okay.
You can rig the votes and you think you're wise, but you won't win.
How so?
You understand? Winning is you seeing Katumba and you believe in what he's doing. Because he won your heart, he won everything.
I see.
You understand?
Yeah.
You will come to the point where you have everything, but Ugandans are against what you do. Are you going to fight your fellow people? Because that is what they are doing now.
They've tried killing them. They killed about more than 40.
Those ones who were killed, it was a political wave. And I was so bitter about it. Mm-hmm. They are spreading bitterness in our fellow youth to their benefits. And these others are trying to show that they are the government.
I see. So you think those deaths should be...
The main point is my brother, who doesn't know what is happening, is dying for nothing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, my brother has died. I went to the campaigns on.
So you're saying both parties in this case are to blame for the deaths.
All of them.
I see.
They incur the cost.
Yeah. There's a saying that you can't make an omelette, fried eggs, without breaking a few eggs. And I think that the justification from their side is...
Let me tell you, that is an old version of doing.
Okay.
Because right now, I've had Chinese lay eggs through using machines.
Yeah.
Can't they get that liquid and make an omelette without breaking it?
I stand corrected. But so I understand, and I don't
that
know
means
if you... Okay.
we have a better version of doing things. Let me tell you, Katumba, I look to be young. But in me, I feel like, not even I feel, I look at all of them and I'm the only president of Uganda. Who knows what Uganda is? These others are influenced by politics.
Katumba, let's talk about the job of presidency, right? So, as the president, you're the boss of Muhoozi, the commander of forces, right? You're the boss to the prime minister, the leader of government. You're the boss, you're also the commander-in-chief, actually. You're the one in charge of the army. You're Uganda's representative on foreign, the foreign stage, right?
Yes.
You, with your experience, a university student, you've just finished university, you've not held a job, maybe you've had some leadership in school. How do you suppose, isn't it also people would think that it's a little bit arrogant to think that you can take on the biggest job in the country?
Biblically, we had this young man called David.
Yeah, David. I know David.
Yes, David was a young man, but you saw what he did to the other gentleman. And not only that, when you look into the more developed countries, we, the youth, are the one moving. Apart from Uganda, where you find the government fighting the youth to be broke. But look at the Mark Zuckerbergs.
Yeah.
I see. Their voice is heard everywhere to the extent it is generating taxes for other nations.
Yeah.
You know what it means? It's not about... Actually, I always have a saying that a small body... big brains.
I see. That's a good one.
So I'm a small body, but big brains. It means that these young men you see, or the Katumba you're seeing now, the mere fact he managed to convince more than 35 Ugandans from different regions to give him the signatures where he had almost nothing in 60 days.
Yeah.
That is off.
Yeah.
He went an extra mile of convincing them to solicit 20 million shillings. That out.
Oh, are you saying the 20 million was crowdsourced?
Of course.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that.
From that level, he went an extra mile of moving the whole Uganda.
Okay.
Do you know what it shows? It shows the power in Katumba of teamwork. In Uganda, we have a saying, an axe doesn't peel matoke.
Yeah. Don't shoot a mosquito with a gun.
Don't shoot a mosquito with a gun. That is what is happening. We can have... the only thing I'll fight in my government is politics.
I see. But, and again, the reason I'm bringing this up, I understand the compassion that's behind you, and I see also the charisma. Sort of, it's not very easy, and I don't know if you take this for granted, but it's not very easy for you to... Yeah, for me, and I'm saying even for you. What you've done is hard, even for you.
Let me tell you, my dream is to make Africa superpower.
I see.
I want to create an environment that will call our brothers who are in the diaspora, who are used as slaves. Most of them, let me give you an example, the Jay-Z, the Beyonce,
This is a billionaire, self-made.
Yes,
How
those
is
people.
CS level?
We create a better environment. They come and invest in our country, in our Africa, so that we can become the workshop of the whole world. Though now, if my dream is big, I need to fight all the battles. For example, one is in Libya. I need to fight it so that I create a sense of understanding that they are using them to make their nation a battleground where they are testing their missiles from.
Yeah.
You see, Congo, these funds, raw materials are got from Congo.
Yeah.
But Congolese are sleepless. Why? Because God blessed them with what? But our leaders are politically in their nations only. Why don't we have a presidential legacy in Africa where Katumba, if he's the president, is not only the last decision maker? Look at the situation where we have Museveni representing Uganda on the African presidential seat.
Mm-hmm.
Another one, we have that legacy. We give them even the military that will merge to make the African force.
Yeah.
From that level, as I'm speaking, we say whoever is attacking any of our nation is attacking the whole of us. Let me tell you, what these people can do, we can also do it. Our fingers are the same. We all have 5.
Yeah.
We are all elites.
I see.
We know what is happening.
I see. What about the dependency cycle? Because I think and I would say this, that I'm a bit older than you, but I'm not that old. I read a little bit about how Museveni was when he conquered. Yeah, and I imagine he was as idealistic as you. It's time to take back and give Africa back to the Africans and things like that. But there are some of the dependency cycles, some things that we need from the white man. And maybe these were architectured in the colonial times or something. But if we say right now decided to throw away, say for example, Congo is a good case, if the Congolese decided to ban the Western companies that are mining the gold, that own those gold mines, the same way Zimbabwe tried to do with the Western farmers. The consequences are dire. It becomes the Africans suffer even more when sanctioned by the European because there is that dependency. There is a little bit of complexity and interdependence between countries in the world today. And it's not, you can have a good idea about where you want Uganda to be and what position you want Ugandans to be in. But how about how to actually get to doing that, don't you?
What you're talking about is that the way I'm understanding it, and the only thing I can give an example, if Amin didn't make a move of giving back Ugandans, though there were so many mistakes across, that is the foundation of trade in Uganda. Even till now, shops would have been owned by Indians.
So you're saying it was a good move by Amin to expel Asians?
It wasn't a good move. But to a greater extent,
it had advantages.
It made an impact. When you heard my speech, like as I was talking to the nation, I said I'm going to liberalize. I'm going to set people's minds free. Give liberty to the way of thinking, economically, politically, and socially. What I meant is that we Africans, we are like this cock which is always tied on a rope. Even if you set it free, it would stay around there, thinking it cannot move further.
Yeah.
I, Katumba, have showed you that even if you don't have money, you can compose yourself and explain to others. You make a team and move Uganda from one level to another.
I see.
So let me tell you, we need these people, but at a smaller extent as per now. All we need is becoming one the whole world, of which it will take time.
Okay.
Isn't it so?
I see.
But all we need is to merge as we Africans. We say, enough is enough. The time is now. Let me give you an example. We are here eager for change, and Katumba is what I'm fighting for. But if you destroy what even the little you have, of what purpose is the change? That is putting your nation 3 to 5 years back. Yet in Dubai, what made them 5 years back was a city that was generating revenue. Is that how we are going to live in our Uganda? We are not after politics.
Yeah.
We are in for leadership.
And let's talk about the team. So have you been able to mobilize a team of experts, say, on your campaign, for example? Because from my perspective, what you're suggesting as solutions would require you having to get in touch with actual experts who can maybe say plan for the country or, make the deals that are required to free ourselves from the West and things like that.
The challenge is that our friends are facing is that they know that they know. If you know that you know, that will put you down. That's why you see economists, we have professors of economics, but they don't own even one company in Uganda.
Yeah.
You know what it means? It means they think they know, yet they don't know anything. Let me tell you, a blind man can reach his destination if he says that I'm blind.
Okay, that's true. Yeah.
And request for help where necessary. A cool man without anything, proud in them, will put them down and they won't reach their destination.
I see what you mean.
So, what I'm trying to mean, I'm for the whole Uganda. Being for the whole Uganda, it means that all Ugandans are worthy contributing towards the betterness of Uganda. That's why I give my number openly. So that they contribute. This expertise, yes, they are expertise. What have they added? Sitting in the offices showing that in Bukedia there is a chunk of land. These local people are not making it useful. Let us fire them away in terms of reclaiming the wetlands.
Yeah.
Then what?
So the one thing maybe that I also want to understand from your perspective is, you see the country the way it is, right? And what you're aiming for is a big job. Is you need a leader.
It is not big. It is not big. It is something small.
Let's call it important, maybe. It's
on
an
my
important
side,
job. Yeah.
It is not. The challenge is someone seeing that seat, they think they have it all. Whenever you put your aim at the ceiling, you will never reach the sky.
Okay.
So, presidential seat on my move, I'm aiming at the sky. It is like not even tall as this table.
No, I'm looking for the specifics. What specifically in the government today would you change, for example? Let's look at, say...
Everything.
Yeah, just give me 1 or 2 examples of that everything.
Let me give you an example. When it comes to taxes, there are taxes which are really there to oppress Ugandans.
Like OTT.
That is the starting point. I reached a point where I said that soon they will charge us breathing tax. BTT. Actually, yeah. If we are not careful, they will charge us BTT. And it is coming. Yeah. This corona that is happening, you start buying gas.
I'm not arguing with you on that. I think you're right on that.
Yes, and that gas, they will have to charge it.
Yeah. So the taxes.
That means one thing. Yeah. Taxes, as Katumba, I'm going to put those which are there for the development of Uganda, not oppressing Ugandans. Another thing, we are poor, but not because we are poor. It's because the situation available. Actually, now the leaders are doing the work of civilians, and the civilians are doing the work of leaders. How is it? If a leader cannot rescue its citizen from poverty, if leaders cannot rescue their citizen from poverty, yet they are sucking out of them, isn't that the vice versa?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I want to improve on their welfare, not even our.
Oh yeah.
We come to security. The purpose of security right now, it is politically violated. We don't have an independent organization like the legislature, executive, and the judiciary. Now Ugandans are fighting with their government because these three are not independent. So whenever you force a pig to fly, you either lose it or you leave it. And that's what they are doing.
Okay, I see.
But if the pig is willing to fly, the two of you can make it fly. Because it will allow you at least to add the technology on it so that it goes up. Isn't it so? Yeah, okay. It will allow you to put it maybe in let us say on the helicopter, or we have drones and the likes, and it will fly. But if you use this local way of chasing it, you fly. You will keep on
doing the same thing and getting
the same results.
Yeah, I see.
And this is the mistake that we are doing. We have entrusted our lives with politicians. We go and scream out, politicians. When they play their political move, our friends, brothers, and the likes die.
I see.
No one cares, by the way. I'm telling you. When you see them pretending that they are mourning, they want to take a political move. Because if they didn't want these people to die, they would have prevented the violence.
Yeah, I see that. And if you want to go back to that, my issue, and maybe I'm one of the sadistic Ugandans, my issue is not about the death of people. It's inevitable. People are going to die.
Why are we saying people are going to die?
Yeah, I mean, that's what life is. Life means eventually you die, right? People would, with a bad government, for example, like Ugandans, yeah? People, if they don't get shot by an angry regime in the street, they are going to die of corona because there's no medicine in hospital. They are going to die of car accidents because the roads are bad.
Now I have a question.
Yeah.
Supposing, because me Katumba, I'm a leader, I see we have a budget that is a bit. Actually, the logistics of tear gas is better than the logistics of medicine in the hospitals.
Yeah, I think that's.
Yet the consumption right now is almost the same. Am I lying?
The consumption of
medicine and tear gas.
Okay, as many people are consuming medicine as those who are consuming tear gas.
Yes, and this comes as a result of forcing a pig to fly.
Okay. So here is also the other thing.
To me, I think instead of having more tear gas in the hospitals, more tear gas on the police cells. Here I call upon Ugandans to vote Katumba, who will have a budget which actually I don't have a budget of tear gas. I just have that money to be shifted into medicine in the hospitals. Look at our Uganda. It is having 600 members of parliament to draw laws like OTT inclusive. But they are 600 paid 200 million at the beginning to make, to take away the dust that was on them. Then they are given 20 million shillings to pass laws like the one of OTT. I go out there and ask my fellow Ugandans, why can't we decrease on this number so that we can have medicine in the hospitals?
Yeah.
So that we can have schools built. So that, don't you see that now it is the government fighting its people?
Yeah.
This is the point I'm putting across.
So why is it Katumba? Why don't you ally with, say, Bobby Wine or ally with Omriat?
I cannot do politics. Katumba is funded by Ugandans.
Bobby Wine claims he's not a politician as well.
But his moves, actions speaks better than words.
Enlighten me, please. I think he's a popular figure. In my opinion, I see Bobby Wine as a popular figure who inevitably attracts
most of the
crowds.
time I do not want to talk about any candidate.
Yeah.
But anyone in a political party shows that you're a politician already. Because you cannot make decisions. Though you're a leader, but politicians will make you do a political move.
I see.
So, me, I'm a leader. They are politicians. At the end of the day, they have to give accountability. That's why they struggle as much as possible to show more than 1,000 people them. But yet in actual sense, they know they moved with 100 or 200 on them. Like, your Titusba days. They are like that number.
I see.
Reason being, it is the party that is joining them. They feel like their time to extract as well has come.
I see. George Orwell said, and this is also one of the things that I find one of the reasons I find inspiring. George Orwell said when he wrote his book Animal Farm, he got criticism because his book is a bit pessimistic. In the end, the oligarchs or the sort of the rich end up winning, and the poor we still end up in poverty, and the whole revolution was almost useless. And what George Orwell says as a commentary for his book is, in order to have a revolution, you have to take it on your own. It has to be you yourself. You have to go. Katumba, I don't want to follow Bobby Wine and to be the leader and things like that. Is this sort of the same philosophy or approach?
Not that, but you saw. Let me give you an example. When I had a puncture, it couldn't stop me from moving. When I had no car, it couldn't stop me from campaigning. Right now, I campaign using a hammer.
Yeah. So you're saying persistence. That is the
Do you know what it means?
Just keep going.
The reason as why, in the end, the other rich people won, it's because whoever led this battle, it's like having 100 sheep led by one lion, and having 100 lions led by one sheep.
Oh, which is a better scenario, right? I'm confused even. So, which of those scenarios is the better one? Do you want the lions?
I'd rather be led by one lion.
I see.
Because the challenge with this one, they will reach a point everyone is a lion. Oh. Either they will bite the sheep and they will lose their leader.
Okay.
Or they will fight one another so that one can show that I'm the king of the jungle. At the end of the day, they won't fight the battle. But here, these others will be scared of the front man, who is a lion, and they will go by the commands. At the end of the day, that braveness in the leader that Katumba possesses, that braveness will swallow the other ones, and you see a sheep hunting down a lion.
Okay.
And that is the Ugandan I'm thinking of.
I see. Yeah, let's switch a little bit to the lighter conversations. I think we've had a good conversation on politics. Let's switch a little bit to Katumba. So at campus, your Katumba, you don't have political ambitions.
Yes.
What are you doing? What is your day-to-day life before this politics stuff was? Yeah.
Katumba, his day-to-day life was, we call them hustler. He used to go downtown there. I buy shoes, I sell them online.
Oh, I see.
Yes, I know such. That's why when I don't know even where to start from in Kampala, because they are going to hustle with me. I know all the corners of Kampala.
Right, so I'm looking forward to that chaos.
Hey, tomorrow I want to sample and see how it is, because tomorrow I'm supposed to be in Kampala.
Okay. Where is that?
I want to go to my fellow people, like in the malls, so that I can fundraise. I'm going to the eastern, to the western part. You got me when I'm from Kalamoja regions, and the eastern part, that is the Teso region. But to put that astray, Katumba, his life was a true description of a Ugandan youth. And it is still.
Yeah.
You go, you hustle, you buy, your friend tells you, you know what, nigga, I want that cashew. That is high school and that is campus. And you're like, yeah, I know where it is. How much are you giving the cashew? We use even to put them on. Katumba, I like your cashew is nice. I know where they sell it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you go downtown, you buy it, you make a profit. Then you eat something. At the end of the day, you have almost nothing. That is Uganda. But effort invested. Katumba, I didn't join politics of university because I saw what they were doing was youngish. Being young, they making noise.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, one will be in the office. Then what?
But your slogan, your very famous slogan, seems to be inspired by Makerere slogan.
Hey, Makelele Oye. One way. The reason that's why I do, because they are alumni. So
I see. I get.
And we know, we say one way, or is it is one way.
Yeah.
When I stand on Kampala Road with this podcaster, that Catherine, I say it is one way, whether police wants it or not. We are moving. No one should cross back.
I see.
We are united.
I see. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, I want to show Ugandans, we are the majority. This minority do not decide for us. Because even if they have 1,000 guns, at the end of the day, even if they kill the all of us, at one point they will need someone they will politically lead.
Oh, I see. They can't kill all the sheep. Eventually, the lion will need some sheep to lead. I see.
Yes.
I see.
So, my university life was a chill life. Having friends around me. None of them knew that I had political ambitions and leadership ambitions. At one point, no one will tell you that I've ever found Katumba talking about politics. He could talk about business. I had shops in town when I was still at university. Later on, I knew that
retail shopping.
Later on, I knew that we are not going to be dealing with Uganda only. We need to go beyond. So before Corona came in, that's when I was doing that thing, as well as I'm fighting unemployment in my fellow youth, but also creating my online.
Yeah.
Because I knew the game locally.
What course were you doing? I imagine it has to be in IT or something. Doing apps and creating online businesses.
No. I did transport and logistics.
Oh, nice. Okay.
When you tell me, Katumba, our enemy is here, do the logistics so that you win the game.
That is your game.
I will, because I have a military logistics behind me.
I see.
But I'm happy and I thank God because He gave me wisdom. So knowing what is happening in IT, when you find me, you may think I'm an expert there. That is part of my school's programming and the likes. But honestly speaking,
logistics.
The only thing I did, I remember, even this year, towards lockdown, we had they call it a garage 48. Where they used to put the all of us in one room, we discuss businesses. Hackathon. I was once a member there.
I see.
One friend of mine called me. She's called Ruby, and she's like, Katumba, it is a must to you to attend. And I'm like, I'm busy doing my app. On reaching there, the first day, I found them they had their website. Since I was small, we coders, You look always disorganized.
Yeah.
The first day, they embraced me. The second day, they asked me, we saw you since yesterday. Actually, the first day, they knew that I was going to come, but they employed someone to do their website. The second day, they told the guy, no, that's when they called me. Then I came on the second day in the evening, and on the third day. Third day, they were like, what? Since yesterday, what did you add on us? Later on, in the last 15 minutes, I developed a website in not less than 30 minutes.
I see.
A working website.
I see.
And we won.
Oh, you won the hackathon?
We didn't win the hackathon, but we were among the best.
I see.
Because everyone had given up. They chased me out, but who called me was like, you stay around. You never know. Later on, in the due process, the guy was like, since yesterday you've been doing the same thing. How do you expect to change it in the last 30 minutes? I told them, give me an opportunity. As he was presenting, I was concluding with my last stuff. And it was working, and everyone was like, wow. They gave me some money to congratulate me. I did something. If you're not that much smart. Now, when you look at that side and you find the Katumba of now,
the politician.
I'm not a politician, I'm a leader.
The leader. Katumba,
it's like I don't know anything. Actually, even if you put your computer there, you don't know. The only thing I know is some few stuff.
I see.
So, what does it mean? We, the youth and Ugandans, we are creative. We are innovative. We have the ability. But the situation is putting us down. And every day it worsens. It worsens every day like that. Are we going to be in the same situation, or we need to make a change?
I see. I know one of your slogans. I think I heard you say that being a youth is not a disability.
Yes, it doesn't mean that you're disabled. But here in Africa, they are showing us being a youth. Do you know how they disable us? I might come up with this glass. You know how the government will give me some little money? Later on, it will show it on the government posts that Ugandans come from far now. It makes glasses. In the real senses, one glass was made and it stopped in the prototype.
That's the thing they did with the radios. I know the company that got the tender to distribute radios.
Mafias. They call them mafias and the likes. But here is the main point. The main point. We the youth, because this is our generation, and even our fathers, because you find a father of 50 years and above still struggling riding a boda for what? To be honest. At that age, he deserves a retirement benefit, whether he went at school or not, so that we can give him some money. Me, by the way, I don't give money, but I go even beyond. I give you strategies of how are you moving from that level to another, so that you can employ the youth. Because if I come up and give my brother, nowadays they are good at betting, they are good at taking liquor and the likes. You give them your 1 million, the guy will just chew it. Right? This father of mine, you give him 1 million plus a strategy where it is going. Tomorrow you will get out of him as years goes on. Even if he buys a cow, he will make sure that he feeds it till this young man will come and milk it. And you say that a job is created even on one cow.
I think this has been quite a good conversation. I'm totally looking forward to reading your book. You have wisdom. I'll say that. I'll give you that. You call yourself a wise man, and I think I agree. Thank you very much for coming. We'll wrap up. The guy is producing over there, reminding me that the time is going.
Yeah, that's why when you told me that I'm going to be here for a while, I smiled. Because what we have to discuss is a lot. But what is left out? We were talking about the youth and being a layman, sort of. But when you look at our generation, it is being tarnished. They are training us to be leaders. No. They are training us to be beggars. They are training us to be leaders. They are training us to be like, I don't know even how to explain it. Betters.
Yeah. Sports betting.
Now, the question is, how is Uganda moving from one level to another? Where do I gain from? That is the question.
That's exactly like what most people would ask. And I'm wondering, the struggles you're personally facing, mobilizing a team to work with you, because what I would imagine, the first question people would be asking, Katumba, maybe you have good ideas, maybe what, but where am I getting from?
That thing, yes, it is everywhere. Where do I gain from? That is a question that everyone asks. And lucky enough, Ugandans have opened up their eyes. Let me tell you, if a Ugandan can get 100 shillings and give it to you, it shows there is something he's saying others are not. And every Ugandan right now is contributing towards the struggle. So my brothers and sisters who are out there, I would love you to join Katumba, not for the political move, but for the development of Uganda.
Okay.
Yes, because at the end of the day, Uganda has to shine.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask you a very unconventional question, right? In a scenario where you don't win, what is Katumba after the campaign?
I don't think myself of not winning.
Museveni will steal your vote. I'm telling you this. Even if you
get the majority. It is in your belief.
Yeah. You think...
my belief is I'm going to win.
So you don't imagine a world
when you see the background, what you've gone through, this is the easiest move, because it is the power of the majority. You read the votes. Ugandans will chase you out of their nation, whether you like it or not.
I see. Okay, I see. That's convincing for me. The plan is to get Ugandans to give you the power.
And prevention is better than.
Okay, so how is the prevention working in this scenario?
One, whenever I go in an area, I tell them to be keen with their vote, because their vote can make them have medicine in the hospitals or not. That vote will overtax you to be BTT, breathing tax.
One actual of the strategies that government has been doing recently is it provides services in places where the majority of politicians are NRM. If you compare two places, Sekamuli, where Kadaga is the woman MP, to other places in Busoga that have
I've been there.
Yeah, that have opposition leaders.
It has even Kamuli itself.
Okay.
They have only a main road. I'm honest.
Yeah. Good.
They have only a main road. Yeah. But I expected Kamuli by now to be as far as California. But energy is wasted in things that are useless. Ugandans are out there knowing that Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga is the one in charge of making them roads. Not knowing their mayors, LC, whatever, those ones they vote and knowing they are the one in charge.
Oh, I see. Oh yeah, and that's a good question also. Why didn't you try to go for mayor or?
Because at the end of the day, it's like having a tree that is not yielding and you cut it, in between. At the end of the day, it will grow again, but it will yield nothing. Uproot it, test the soil, whether it is the problem or not, plant another one, wait for the results.
I see.
That is the Uganda I expect to have. However, my mothers were out there crying. My fathers were there being tortured, and my brothers. Politics is everywhere. Uganda is insecure than any other country. Tear gas is more than medicine in the hospitals. When I also look around the area, politicians are more than leaders. Numbers of parliaments are more than the roads that are constructed in kilometers, yet the consumption is almost the same, but different results. My brothers are not going at school, reason being, they have only one school in the whole region. Others, they are overtaxed. Before we had middle income earners, now we have either you poor or rich.
We're extremely rich, I see.
We no longer have middle income earners because they lost it all through overtaxation, rent, and the lights. You look at our brothers down there in Chikubo, they burnt not Chikubo, we know, they burnt everything till their point got out.
Yeah, I've seen that. That has actually been.
But all the tears Ugandans are crying, I'm here to weep them.
Yeah, this savior syndrome also, most people call it psychological deficiency, where someone sits and says, I am going to be the solution, I'm going to be the equivalent of Jesus for this society or for this societal problem. Aren't you worried that maybe, you're just not looking at this from a right perspective? Thinking,
no, because when I see what is happening, I look even the people around me. Now, when I talk about the people around me, I mean the Museveni's, the Bobiwines, though I'm with you now. But the people around me, those are the ones I'm talking about.
Okay.
The Tumukundes, the Mugisha Montus, and the likes. They are all, if they are not on ETC.
What is ETC?
End of thinking capacity.
Okay.
Yes, if they are not on ETC, right now they are on politics. Because these guys would have come up as the greatest investors in our nation.
I see.
Look at let me get you an example. One leader we have here in Uganda. They know they are the one, like members of parliament. I can give you one. They are scared of getting out of the parliament, though they are on the opposition side. Reason being, their laws are not good for a human being. But look at this scenario. You go in the parliament, you accumulate capital, you make a company, you employ other youth. You start giving back to the society. How is that?
Yeah, I see. I mean, some people are doing that, by the way.
They are not. The only results they give is building apartments, of which those apartments won't employ anyone. Yeah. If they employ, they will employ 2 or 3. And that is what is happening. That is the Uganda we are in.
No, I think I understand what you mean, because most people who haven't earned their money really want a safe way of investment. And, when you sell apartments...
How safe is it?
Apartments usually, they'll last, so the people don't worry that, it's different from building a thing that adds actual value, like an industry.
That is wastage of energy and resources. Well, me, I take working in the government as a training for your own business.
Okay.
That's why when I look at my father, who is above 70, still in the office, when I reach that side in my government, the only thing I can add on him is telling him, my father, I've given you 3 years. Train whoever is behind you of below this age. I will train you your first business. We will give you land. We will give you tax holidays. We will help you. We will support you till you establish your own company. I chase you out of the government office.
I see, but what about the other Ugandans who will think it's not fair that you're giving retired government officials free tax holidays and land?
Not only even those ones. My father, who is above 50, will also experience the same thing. Because we also come into the system will train us. To me, government, I see it as a training entity beyond university. One, it will give you connections that you don't have.
Yeah.
When you get out, you'll be having enough connections.
Yeah.
How many officials are out there? Right now, they collect NSSF, but they mishandle the funds. Yet that money would have been there for people like of that kind.
I see.
This is the Uganda we are thinking of that is developmental, not fighting its own citizen. I would love to say much, but because of the situation and the time,
No,
we shall meet next time.
Definitely. I'm going to start following up on your trail, and once I'll come and for you sometime.
For us, if we don't say whoever comes, we embrace. However, we prefer someone to provide us fuel than coming in person. Because when you come in person, you add numbers.
Yeah, definitely.
And COVID is real.
Definitely.
So instead of having your number to be part of us, it is better we find you in your area and you give us fuel so that we can reach another destination. Yeah, however, I will read my number again to those who are willing for the betterness of Uganda. My number is +256 778 84 9457. +256 778 84 9457. 0778 84 9457. Anyone who is contributing towards the struggle that is peaceful of Katumba, please put on that number. I would be very happy, and I promise I will use your money, and you will also accept the guy has well used our money.
Thank you. And is this also money you can raise from international people?
Yes.
They send to that exact number? Okay.
Yes. That's why I used the +256. Yeah. But however, you can also use that number. You WhatsApp me. We stay in touch.
I see.
The main point is not politics. The main point is leadership. How are we moving Uganda from one level to another? How are we moving Africa from one level to another? Did you know that they make Africa battlegrounds so that they can make these other people think that Africa has nothing good about it? Yet when they think about resting, they come in Africa.
By there you mean the West?
I have not said any side.
Okay.
Those who knows,
West, the Europeans and the Americans.
I'm not offending anyone, but they know.
All right.
If when it comes to resting, you come in Africa. Then when it comes to financial expansion, you run away from Africa. You turn Africa battleground. You like the MPs who are the officials we have here in our government. They overtax when we tell them to get out of offices. At least they fight as much as possible to reduce the years. Reason being, they are sure of the laws they made that they cannot be used by the Africans or the Ugandans. Okay, thank you very much. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Vote Katumba. Vote Katumba. His symbol is a table. And we still continue negotiating. I'll be glad if you contribute to the field.
Definitely. I will definitely contribute to the
thank you very much.
Yes.
May God bless you.
You as
Ugandans play for our country, even Africans as well. Join me. I have a better plan for Africa, not only Uganda. That's why I started at an early age. Thank you very much, and have a good
evening. Yes, thank you as well. Thank you very much for accepting. I know.